All right, the holidays are over. It is time to jump back up on the wagon, and it's time to start meal prepping. So, yeah, now that the holidays are donezo, now that all the unhealthy eating is done, it's time to get back on track. So today I'm going to show you guys probably one of my newer favorite meal preps, and this one I like doing when, one, I need to be in a calorie deficit, but this is also one that I use when I also want to keep the protein count high as well, because this one is definitely a good combo of both, and you definitely don't feel starved with this one. Yes, it's a lower calorie, but you don't feel that hangry feeling with this one as so much. So these are kind of small, but I'm doing my sweet potatoes that I've done before. We're gonna do them a little differently this time because I want to switch it up. And I'm gonna find a couple of decent ones. Now I'm just doing a small amount because I only need some for a few days currently. So go ahead and wash them. And it doesn't matter how big or how small the sweet potatoes are. You want to aim, at least for the week, usually about 3 pounds, maybe 4, is usually a good indicator of how, basically it'll keep me throughout the entire week. Now with this recipe for these potatoes, I normally do them with red skin potatoes. We're doing them with sweet potatoes instead. And with these potatoes, I normally take the skin off, but for this one, I'm gonna leave the skin on. All right, keep these guys up. All right, those are all chopped up. Now let's add our seasonings. So I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, just enough to coat the potatoes. Okay, then we're gonna do onion powder, just a little bit of paprika, salt, black pepper, some Italian seasoning, got some thyme, and then we're gonna add some rosemary, and then we're gonna add some garlic powder. And that's that. We're gonna give that a toss. And I'm just tossing them until they're all kind of shiny. That just means that they're all coated with oil. So there's that. Let's put them on our tray. Bam. We're gonna throw these in the oven, 425, for about 25 minutes. All right, so before we get into what we're gonna do next, which is our salmon, I just wanted to show you, so I have here 120 grams of frozen broccoli. You can go ahead and roast it if you want. You can just steam it, it doesn't matter. I leave it frozen because by the time I need it, it's thawed out and it cooks a lot easier. But normally I just add a little bit of salt to it and that's that. I'm a big sucker for broccoli, so it doesn't take much. All right, and for this salmon, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna bring out the old air fryer. For this, I typically don't air fry or air bake or whatever salmon. I normally use the broiler that I have at my job. That's a lot easier for me. But the process and whatnot and how I put it together is the same. We're just using a different contraption. So, I have here 2 salmon fillets. They are 4-ounce salmon fillets, which equals 8 ounces, which is still a lot of salmon, but I take the skin off, 1, because I don't care for the skin, and 2, there's a lot of fat in the skin, like a lot of fat. And also, I tend to miss some of the scales because they don't always take the scales off, and so it tastes funny, I don't like it, I don't care for it. I just get rid of it. And my thought process is the only way to truly enjoy salmon is if you smother it in butter, but it's already got plenty of fat, and so you don't need to do that. So I take the skin off. But I'm gonna flip these guys over, and as you go, kind of just get rid of any sections of skin. But I'm going to try and remove this skin. It's a lot easier when it's frozen, I will say that. My butchery skills are lacking, not the best, but I'm not the worst. And it looks like that. We're gonna set him off to the side. Again, not the best. And I know I kind of left a chunk there, but this cooks a lot faster normally on a broiler, so I tend to, actually, we're gonna just scrape him off. Again, this usually works a lot easier when it's still frozen. I let this thaw out. Bam, that one was a little bit better. Better than this one. All right, throw this away. Okay, now I'm going to create kind of a, not a pouch, but a little foil liner, because regardless of how you cook it, using a chunk of foil will make this process a lot easier. But I'm gonna cut these into 1-inch chunks, 1.5-inch chunks, make little mini salmon nuggets, if you will. And there's that. I'm gonna clean this up so I can season this. All right, so I got my salmon here. So I'm gonna kind of create a pouch. because there's enough fat here that I don't want this to end up everywhere. So we're gonna add just a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna add a little bit of salt to each one, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of black pepper, and then about a tablespoon or so of garlic. And there's that. So we're gonna set our air fryer to bake 350, and we're gonna start with about 10 minutes and just kind of keep an eye on it as it goes. And then we'll kind of put this all together. All right, so sweet potatoes are done. Every time, never fails. So we're gonna let that cool. And then we got our salmon, yummy, yummy. We're gonna let everything completely cool, and then we'll portion it up. All right, so everything's cold, or well, not cold, but cooled down. So I have here my food scale. So for my sweet potatoes, I tend to go between 4.5 and 5 ounces, and I try and aim more towards 4.5. Don't ask me why, it's just what works. I did start off for a while at 4, and then I just kind of have worked my way up from there. And normally when I do salmon, I usually try and go a little higher than 4.5, but yeah, it's about 4.6, which is fine. But we're gonna throw that in here, and bam, that's that one. And then I'll do that for the rest of mine. In this case, I have 3, so I'll do that for the rest of the other 2. Now, if I were doing any other protein, I would probably want to stick closer to 4.5, if not a little under 4.5. But with salmon, I can usually indulge a little bit more in the sweet potatoes, plus it's veggie, plus it's a nice filler. It is a carb, but it's a nice complex carb. It's got plenty of fiber in it, especially when you leave the skin on. It's not so bad. Okay, then I have my salmon. Now, I don't do it a lot because it's expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. So I try and do it 3, sometimes 4 times a week, but I try and do it at least 3. Most of the time it's between 2 and 3. I don't like doing it a lot because it's really, really expensive. The nice thing is though, I can get the frozen portions and it works out. It makes life a lot easier. And what I can do is, again, I can put everything together, have the salmon fillets off to the side, and then cook them when I get to my job. That's just a perk that I have. Most people don't, so do it this way. But there you have it. Salmon, sweet potatoes, and some broccoli. A wonderful, wonderful meal prep. A little bit of a time-consuming meal prep, minus the sweet potatoes. It's mostly all the work is in the salmon. Again, this is just, it's a once-in-a-while kind of thing, and it's not because it's bad for you by any means. This right here is a phenomenal meal prep. It's just really expensive. That's it. And it takes some time. It's fish. It takes a little bit of time. But there you have it. Delicious stuff. And I will put the recipe for the sweet potatoes that I did as well as the salmon. But there's that. And it ain't look kind of pretty. It's kind of nice. And then sometimes I'll splurge a little bit and just put a little bit of Thai sauce on it just to help it go down a little easier, because after a while you don't want to really get tired of this one because this is a really, really good one. And so a little bit of the Mayploy Thai sauce helps it go down real smooth. Again, it's a once in a while thing, so you're not doing it every day. But yeah, there you have it, meal prep. Well guys, there you have it. A nice, yummy meal prep idea, salmon and sweet potatoes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and you're new, make sure you hit that sub button for me. There's plenty of other meal prep videos that I've done previously. There's also some that I will plan on doing in the next couple of weeks, of course. But share this with your friends and family, and as always, peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one.